And I'm going to do that by sticking a screwdriver, a long screwdriver, in the spark plug hole. The spark plug is up here. You put your screwdriver in there. I'm pretty sure it's still on top dead center, but let's check it to be certain. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to be turning the crankshaft bolt down there. I'm going to be turning that bolt right there, right down there. That's called the crankshaft bolt. All right. That's the crankshaft bolt right there. So I'm going to be turning that clockwise while I'm watching that screwdriver. All right, and I want that screwdriver at the very top. And that means the piston's all the way up to the top. That piston's all the way up to the top. Okay. So now let's start removing chains. We're going to start with the right side. Bolts. All right. Put that up there too. Now my chain is loose, so I can get it off. Alright, and there's my chain. And you see the markings on those as well, they're orange. Alright, so I'm going to put this over here too. I'll put that right there. And I'll put the other one right over on this side, and I'll put the other one right over here. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I'm going to remove the other tensioner as well. The one on the bottom chain. Okay. I'm going to remove the tensioner. Actually, let me see if I can get the chain off of the bottom one. And got the chain off, okay? I'm going to put that over here. And now we're going to go for the last chain on it. And we'll go ahead and remove this tensioner as well. Remove the chain. Okay. All right. Get this guide out of there. Slides right out of there. Go ahead and leave the bolts in there. It's not a real big deal. Just leave them in there. And we can pull this tensioner off of this side. And again, just leave the bolt in there. It's not a real big deal. Leave them in there. Save you some looking around for a bolt. Now I can go ahead and remove this chain. And again, alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to replace this lower crankshaft sprocket, all the sprockets on this thing. So let's go ahead and change these sprockets out. Alright, I'm going to remove these these little gears down here. Right here, it's a 16 millimeter. Alright. You're not going to worry about them spinning, these spinning so much, because you're going to have to line them anyways. And we'll work on that later. So just take them off and put them to the side. Make sure you get them on the right side though. So what we're going to do, we're going to take one off, we're going to put a new one on there, take the other one off, and put a new one on there. The one on the passenger side is the smaller gear is on the outside. Alright, let's take the other one off. Alright, I got it off. And there's that guide down there on the bottom. Just going to pop it off. Just like that, and pop it off, okay? Like that. And put it on the same way. So I'm gonna come down here. And pop it on there like that. Okay? Not a problem. So just go ahead and do that. It's faster anyways. Alright. So let's start with the driver's side, because we have to, and we'll set the timing on the driver's side. Alright, check this out. We're talking about stretch chains and how the timing jumps. Check this out. I got these chains on a screwdriver. That way everything is level. You want to look at all three of the longer chains. Do you see the difference in the length? You see the old chain is just a little bit longer than the other chain? Alright, according to the timing marks, there's our chains right there. It looks like, yeah, my little, actually, the little gears are on the back. The big gear is on the front because you can see it. Passenger side, the little gear's out and the big gear is on the inside. So I got them wrong. So let me fix that real quick and we'll continue. But there's our timing marks right there. We're going to be looking at these little weird looking shapes you got here, and we're going to match them up, and there should be a dot or an arrow, a dot or an arrow. So we're going to be doing it like that. Alright guys, we installed some new idler pulleys on these. Alright, don't worry about spinning them because you got to put them in time anyways. They're just idler pulleys. They're not connected to anything internal. They're just riding on this right now. They're just riding on that, so you can spin them until your heart bleeds or whatever. So it's not going to do anything. You still got to time them, is my point. So I'll go ahead and tighten those up, and we can work on changing out this crankshaft sprocket too. Alright, the crankshaft sprocket is pretty cut and dry. You're just going to get your hands behind it and you're just going to pop it off. Alright, when you put the keyway on there, you want to make sure that you got a dot on the outside so you can see it. You'll need that for the alignment mark, okay? On the other side, you see there's no dots. on that. So if you put it on that way, you'll never know where your alignment mark is. So make sure you got them on the right side with the dot right there. Okay? So that's how we're going to install. Alright, it's coming together, y'all. I'll give you a close-up every time we do something. Alright, I still have to tighten up these nuts, but we have 3 new sprockets on there. That's all the sprockets we're doing. The rest we're going to be putting on our guides, our chain guides, and our tensioners, and our chain. Alright, so this is how we're going to do it. Since it's not really clear, and this is actually my first 3.6 2010-2015 Camaro, we're going to be looking at the design. That's exhaust, and that's an intake. It's not really clear, but that's an exhaust cam, and those are intake cams. So we're going to be looking at the design right there, and we know that that ear right there is on a mark. And we're going to get that ear over there, that little gap over there close to that mark. And let's see if we got any dots in that area. So we got an exhaust, and they're kind of looking at one another. You see they're kind of, one's over here and that one's like that. So we're going to try to get it, that design, to match up. And that's probably at the 12 o'clock position. That's probably like 11 o'clock. So let's try that. So we'll go over here, and we're looking at the driver's side, and that driver's side's about right. Okay, and there's the ear right there, and there is a dot up here. Alright, so there's one mark, and our intake is about right too. So, but I think it has to go, and there's an arrow on the intake. You guys see that arrow? It's right there. Sorry about the zoom, y'all, but there's an arrow on that tooth. Let's go back to the schematic. Go back to the diagram. And that's not over there on the end. It's actually a little bit over where that gap is. So let's look for that gap. Okay, and that gap, where that gap is right there, there's a dot. So that's our other alignment mark right there, that dot. You guys see that dot? It's going to be a dot. It's going to correspond to this gap right here. And on the exhaust cam, it's going to be this dot over here. So we're looking at dots. We're fine looking for dots. We're not looking for arrows. We're looking for dots so far. Okay? So, and as far as this goes, you know what? I don't know yet. Let's see. And it looks like there is a dot. There is a dot right there which lines up. So let me see if I can find that dot. And there's a little hole right there. That's the inside. Oh, so that's the color link. You gotta look through that hole. You're gonna have to look through the hole. Oh shit, just dropped that on my damn laptop. You're gonna look through that hole, and you're gonna see a colored link, and that's how you know it's time. All right, and then there'll be a dot on the outer chain, this chain right there. Okay, that's easy enough. Let's do it. Those tabs, those colored links have to match up. Okay. Okay. Y'all see that? Let me get you over here closer. Okay. All right, there's a colored link right there. You see the dot? So we're right there. We're good there. See the colored link? There's a dot right there. Now this link down here on the inside sprocket, that has to line up with the colored link. And I'm going to have to get me a little mirror. Alright, how I'm going to do it, y'all, is I'm going to get a mirror. I'm going to hold it right down there. Right down there, because I want to be able to see that hole. Get me a flashlight. I can't talk because I got the flashlight in my mouth, okay? But there's the hole right there. If you look down in that hole, you can't see it. But trust me, you can see that silver, you can see the silver chain in through that hole, and it lines up perfectly. So we're lined up there, so I can go ahead and put my tensioner back on this side. That's what I'm going to do now. Tensioner and the guides. Alright, what I did so far, y'all, is I went ahead and installed this chain completely. I'll put the tensioner in there. I put the guides in there. I tightened everything down as they're supposed to be. I'm going to verify timing marks now. I have a dot on that silver chain link. I got a dot on that silver chain link. Remember to just follow this to get you, make sure you get it right. The diagram and the picture, I'll post it on the video. And that one is the gap. Remember, that one was the gap. Okay. Sorry about the focus. And that's on a dot and a colored link. Now all we have to go down here and see. I might be able to get a flashlight on it so you guys can see it. If I knew what I did with my flashlight. Those things are, there it is. Kind of tricky, trying to keep hold of. And if you look down in there, I don't know if you can see it or not. Can y'all see that? There's a silver link in the hole. That hole right there. Alright, so that's verified. So we're good on this chain. Now we're going to go for the center chain and get that one installed. Those pulleys, these are the idler pulleys I just installed, and this is a crankshaft pulley. According to this, I should have a dot here at the 11 o'clock position, and I should have a dot at the 10 o'clock position. Alright, you see that? And I also should have a dot. I also should have, but look at this keyway over here. That keyway is at 11 o'clock position. Which does not make any sense right now. Why is that at the 11 o'clock position? It should be at the 3 o'clock position. I'm going to have to stop and verify these marks. Alright, I don't know why they got it designed this way. I don't know if they're trying to be tricky or something. I don't know, but I can go ahead and move this crankshaft pulley so the keyway is at 11 o'clock. And I see the marks, and I can align this chains up right, and this chain will, you know what, it's kind of crazy. Let me check another diagram while I got it up here. See, on this diagram, the chain, okay, so they are moving this crankshaft. You see the keyway's at 3 o'clock? About 3:30. Okay, it's just a process. So I'm going to go ahead and move it to the 1 o'clock position so I can get this chain on here, and that will put that where it needs to go automatically, because there's a sprocket on this one too. So let's do that. I'll go ahead and move it. It's just kind of backwards if you ask me. But I'll go ahead and put that crankshaft on the 11 o'clock position. Alright guys, it's verification time. The lower chain. Alright. There's my dot. You see my dot on the top, right? Right there. There's my silver link. That's lined up. We'll go down to the bottom. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. I'll try to get it closer for you. That's lined up. It's on the dot. You guys see that? It's on the dot. Okay, let's get it back up here. We'll go up to here and we'll see it's on the dot. Alright, so we're timed up. We're timed up. That chain is timed. This chain is timed to that chain. So now we got to time this chain to this chain. I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. And we'll continue tomorrow because it's getting a little bit dark. And I have a lot to clean up today. So we'll do it tomorrow. Alright, so I got it in there. And let's check our marks again. Mark looks good over there. You see the dot? Okay. Mark is good over here. You'll see the dot. The dot's right about there, right? You see it? Under the silver link. And we have good matching on that link down there. The dot lines up to that one. We are at the 11 o'clock position on the keyway. 11 o'clock, almost 12. You look down on it like that, you can see where I'm at. Almost 12. That bolt right there is 12 o'clock. It's a little bit offset, right? Okay, so that's where we're at. We haven't pulled out any of these tensioner pins yet. We're just going to leave them in right now. Since we're at it, we'll go ahead and check our alignment marks over here. We're good there. We're lined up to the dot there. I'll check the bottom hole in a minute, but we're okay there. Matter of fact, like I said, we'll do this chain tomorrow. Tomorrow morning when it's daylight. Alright guys, you know, we were talking about the passenger side jump chain, and after getting ready to put on that chain right there, check this out. I found the actual problem why it jumped chain. Look at that. I can spin this with my hand. I can spin this damn thing with my hand. So let's look down up in there and see what broke. And there you have it right there. We got broken pieces. And we get all my broken pieces together. Let me get all that. You see all that stuff down up in there? All that? Something exploded in here. Oh wow, I got pieces over here too. I knew I heard something. I got rocker arms that busted. I don't know if this thing is gonna run again. You see, you got pieces. Rocker arm exploded. All the rockers are off of it. Look at that, every one of them. Every one of them is busted. Every one of them. You see, there's supposed to be something on there, on those valves. So we have no valve operation whatsoever on this. I don't know if we have bent valves or not. don't know if we have bent valves or not. So here's another problem. I'll have to let the customer know that we have more issues. Shit. Okay. At least we found the problem before I put that chain on there. So, well, it's a good idea now that we know, just in case, if it happened to me, it could happen to you. Spin these camshafts. If there's a problem, we're going to check this side too. This side looks good. The exhaust valves look good on this side, so, and I can't spin it. So our intakes are screwed up. Okay. You know, what I'm actually worried about is that crap getting down in the motor, and I see a piece that's hanging right down there on the edge of the motor. I got my magnet out. I'm going to try to retrieve it out of there. But, you know, I'm sure a piece has got down up in there with that big old hole down there. So let me see if I can fish some of this stuff out of here. Like that. I'm going to fish all my pieces, as many pieces as I can find. Give you a better look at what I'm pulling out of there. All metal. Small pieces too, little bearings, little roller bearings. I might have to pull the head. I'm going to put some air on this. Now you hear it hissing over here by the tool, right? Let's take these off. You'll hear it get louder. Let me get you on camera. So that's how I know I have bad valves. I know that you're not going to hear it better because I'm zooming in, but just listen. Oh, oh. No. Careful. Now listen. Did you hear it? All that air is going in the cylinder, but what's going on is, since these intake valves are bent, the air is just going right out of here. That is confirmation. You see those two don't do it? Because that's that cylinder. That's that cylinder. That's that.
You got two, you got one.
Listen, try to. Okay, so that's confirmation. These heads will have to be taken off. They will have to get a valve job on this side. All right. So I'm not going to test the other tube because I already know that it's got to come off. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to this side and we're going to check these two. While we got it up. Well, we got these out already, and let's go ahead and confirm this side too, because I think I don't know how I'm going to do this. If the customer wants me to do both sides, I'll do both sides. I recommend it, but if not, I just want to verify this side over here. So let's do that side.